What's good? What's not? Tell me why. And remember, my comment sections are and always will be a safe space. I kind of I messed up. I recorded this video yesterday where I actually tier ranked what is going on here. All of the WWE superstars because I'm kind of in a phase where I just want to talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about. Okay, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, oh well. Um, so especially because it's been a minute since I posted some videos, and that is only because life started lifing, and I have some serious anxiety about certain things, especially life-changing events, especially pertaining to my place of living. So I couldn't focus on anything other than working and making sure I had the money to get my own place, which I did, and it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. So, getting back to this video, I recorded it yesterday where I actually tier ranked all of the WWE superstars from Raw, Smackdown, and NXT, and there was a bit of an audio issue. So I am about to just basically redo it. I'm not gonna, obviously the tier list is already put together, so I'm not gonna actually have to move them all over the place. I'm just gonna kind of go through each tier, talk about the ones that I feel compelled to, give a little more detail on as to why they are in that tier. And just my overall feelings on it. This is just kind of my way to get into talking about wrestling more and getting into making some more wrestling content. I feel like a good jumping off pad is just going through ranking everybody, talking about my feelings on them, their standings in the company right now, and where I see them, in the future. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get into that. So that way, there's a reason the whole tech issue happened, and I don't have to release a 2 hour and 30-minute video. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So our first tier that we have here is the king slash queen of catering. Okay, basically this just means they don't get enough stream time. They don't get enough screen time for me to even care about their characters. Because as you can see, the tier right next. Well, actually, right now I might edit that out. So, anyways, king and queen of catering. So I do have two different screens I'm looking at here. So that's why I'm not at the camera. If you notice, that is why. Okay, so getting into the tier list, at the very bottom we have Valhalla, who we have not seen in a very, very long time on WWE TV, probably since they dropped the whole Viking gimmick altogether as far as the Viking Raiders go, who are now the War Raiders, of course. Yeah, I mean, I did like her when she was getting screen time. Didn't really care for any. I think she did have like a match against Maxine Dupree. Didn't really care for it. So yeah, she's queen of catering. Right next to her, that is Tyler Bate, the big strong boy who I could not give a damn about. He literally had his return match. He was injured for a while. He had his return match in during the European stretch, European tour, I guess. And he lost, and nobody cared. And I don't think on TV after that since. So, well, probably because they're dedicating all their time to the WrestleMania deal, which is also the reason why I'm making this video. I feel like making around WrestleMania just kind of makes sense. It's WrestleMania season. Everybody's hyped out a little bit. Words are hard. I've had a little day. Okay. All the wrestling fans want to just talk about wrestling. Obviously, I am. So, next person. Not know who this. Oh, that's Thea Hale. Bro, yesterday I could not see the name underneath her picture, and I put her in Queen of Catering. I don't feel bad about that now. I don't feel like we see Thea Hale since that Chase U guy broke up. And she's just been, obviously, in catering. Or crafty, whatever you want to call it. And even before that, I believe she had a match with, I almost said Maxine again, with Roxanne Perez. And I didn't really care about that little bitty story. They were trying to make it like a thing where how Thea Hill is supposed to be like similar to Maxine. Maxine, I said it again. Jesus, Maxine is afraid, bro. About like how she was supposed to be like so similar to Roxanne Perez. I almost said the third time. And it just didn't hit for me. So, yeah. Next to her is Riley Osborne. I don't know this man outside of his name, so obviously he's King of Catering as well. I can't even say I don't care because they did nothing. Next to him, I cannot really see. I think it's Osiris. Is that supposed to? He's an Osiris Griffin. I believe he's part of the whole Dark State thing happening right now in NXT, and that whole situation is a dark state in my mind. I cannot tell you what is happening with that story. Miles Bourne, I believe he is part of No Quarter Catch crew. The way I was struggling to say that on the previous video, I guess that was practice. Yeah, don't care about him. He just missed don't care because he's another one who doesn't really get any screen time. Not enough screen time for me to care. Michael Satomura, I'm not even about to continue with that. I don't think I think has she even had a match on NXT? Yeah, can't even say I don't care. Queen of Catering. Moving on. Mark Coffey, another one. Yeah, I don't. Has he had a match? What is he a part of? Is he a part of Gallus? Is that what the Coffee? Yeah, whatever. I don't know. The guy next to him, I cannot see his name, and I don't. I had my screen was glitching, so I decided to just glitch with it. I have not ever seen that man's face on NXT television. So yeah, King of Catering, clearly, because he signed and I've never seen him. So they didn't even try to do like a fake big deal debut match for him. Javier, whoever, don't know you. King of Catering as well, right next to Jasper Troy. I think he's another one who was in. No, I think he's actually in a tag team. I don't think he's part of the Dark State situation. Next up on the list, all the way at the end here, never seen that man's face on NXT TV either. Like, who are these guys that are just popping up on the roster that I have never seen before? Somebody, please fill me in. Again, next to him. Let me see. Drake. I don't know you, Drake. I don't know you. I'm glad you got a job. I would love to have your job if I had the athleticism. Anyway, King of Catering. Dante Chen. I believe I actually seen a match with him. I don't know if they tried to make him a big deal and it worked, or they were just like, we don't have nothing to do for the show, so have some fun, buddy. But yeah, King of Catering. Cruz del Toro, another King of Catering, because I don't want to say I don't care about him because I've seen him in the ring and he's pretty good. He just doesn't get anything meaningful for real. They don't do anything meaningful with the like bottom 2-3 members of LWO. Anyway, how did No Quarter Catch crew roll off the tongue earlier and then LWO is like anyway. Charlie Dempsey, don't get I said don't care. I should have put him in that tier. But King of Catering is just because he hasn't really been doing anything on screen worth mentioning since losing the Heritage Cup, which I don't care about that either. Apollo Crews, I think he's been injured. Doesn't get enough screen time for me to really say I don't care about him. So another King of Catering, unfortunately, because I did see at least 1 or 2 matches when Baron Corbin got called up to the main roster second time, I guess. And they were doing like a tag team situation, and then they dropped it like the next week. So that was unfortunate. Andre Chase, yeah, another King of Catering. I almost put him in Don't Care, but that would have been more personal. And I'm trying to be objective with this situation. At least I was a little bit. So yeah, King of Catering. Haven't seen him since. Well, actually, he has had like 2 matches or situations since the whole Chase U situation blew up. Yeah, don't care about that. Ariana Grace. I believe she is Santino Marella's daughter. I don't know anything about her after that because she doesn't get enough screen time either. For what I did see, I will say she could probably be like a face version of Chelsea Green, which is weird to say because Chelsea Green is basically a face. Anyway, it does not matter how much WWE program would try to tell us she is a heel. She is not. They love her way too much. Anyway, see how this bottom, there's going to be a lot of these bottoms here where I'm going to end up probably going on a tangent about other things rather than the actual person. Anyway, Carlito. Feel bad putting him down here because basically, isn't he like a WWE legend at this point? No? Okay. Yeah, King of Catering. He doesn't. I don't want to say I don't care about him, but also given our other categories and why they are what they are, I have to put him down here. He really doesn't get much to do besides being backstage segments, playing 2K, and getting speared by Braun Breaker. Uh, that was one of the worst spears I've ever seen. Worse as in like the best spear ever. Worse, I would not want to get hit by that. Like we would have to fight for real if you hit me like that. Yeah, King of Catering. I'm sorry. So we have like the whole Wyatt Six with Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, and Eric Rowan. Obviously, since Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas, they have to go in King/Queens of Catering because we don't get nothing. We get nothing, and it is so sad because when they debuted, that was like one of the best debuts I had ever seen as a wrestling fan. Granted, it's not that long of a stretch when it comes to time. All of my runs as a WWE fan are not that big put together. But anyways, I just wish there was more for them. But yeah. Kiana James, when she did get called up from NXT, I feel like they literally only did that to her and Blair Davenport because they needed bodies for the main card title qualifying matches. And Queen of the Ring, I believe she even competed in the Queen of the Ring tournament too. Match against Natalia, I think, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Queen of Catering. And then I think after that she was injured. So yeah. Shotzi. I actually like Shotzi. Too bad that after they had her being involved in a War Games match with Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte motherfucking Flair, they did absolutely nothing with her. Although, granted, I think she may have got injured right after that. And then when she came back, she has been in NXT. I think she got injured like 2 more times down there. And since then, she's really only been seen playing with dolls with Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, which is like, come on, people. Queen of Catering. She doesn't get enough screen time for me, so I don't care about her yet. And then our last in the Queen of Catering category is Scarlett because we only see her attached to Karrion Kross in backstage segments. Sometimes, well, I pretty much say I think anytime he gets in the ring, which ain't that much anyway, she'll be on the outside. But yeah, that's unfortunate because she is actually, I think there was she's had a couple promo moments where I was like, there is something here. I just don't think it's in the ring. I could be wrong. I'm so open to be proven wrong. I love being proven wrong in situations like that. But yeah, that is our entire King/Queen of Catering category. If there's any of your favorites in this, I apologize. Not really. Anyway, moving on up to the don't care category. So we're going to take. All right. So now with the don't care category, these are people that have actually gotten enough screen time for me to have an opinion. It's not that big of an opinion. It's more so literally I don't care what happens with them or what doesn't happen. So starting us off here is Yoshi Inamura. He had I was about to say a really good match, a decent match with Wesley recently, and yeah, I've seen enough of this dude. So yeah. Wolfgang, I have never seen him in the ring, and if I have, that means it was not impressive enough to leave. I didn't want to impressive enough to leave an impression. It was not good enough to leave any type of impression. So yeah, he's in the don't care. Right next to Wendy Chu, who is kind of unfortunate because she came back with her little, don't want to minimize it, her new gimmick, and it did look pretty dope. But they did absolutely nothing besides have a feud with Tatum Paxley, and I believe she had a match with Roxanne Perez for the title, got beat, and they did nothing with her. And I've been seeing her on ads for the WWE Evolve show, which it seems like the new developmental show. And to me, that just seems like a little bit of a downgrade because it's like I feel like she's been in NXT for a while, and for her to be kind of like just pushed down to another level of developmental, just kind of seems like they don't really either know what to do with her or don't want to do anything substantial with her. So yeah, don't care. Tavion Heights, another part of No Quarter Catch Crew, don't really care. Seeing enough in the ring. If he leaves, No Quarter Catch Crew develops probably a character, he probably move up, but it is what it is. Noam Dar hasn't seen him since I don't think he's been MIA since the whole Trick Williams Lash Legend angle, which is what actually got me started watching NXT. We'll get more into that once we start talking about Lash Legend and Trick Williams, but yeah, don't care about Noam Dar. Nikita Lyons, I've seen her so many times before I started watching wrestling again, and I was like, man, like there's no way that this woman is not a complete star. I was wrong. Her matches have been pretty lackluster every single time she's had one. I don't really care for the character she's going with right now. I do like her interest theme. I will say that. And she is a gorgeous woman. So I just don't care as far as her wrestling goes or her ceiling as far as her career in wrestling goes. So yeah. Lexus King, unfortunately, because I believe he's from Cincinnati. And that's the only, he has some really interesting facial hair. But yeah, don't care. Next up, Carmen Petrovich. Cute ninja gimmick. But it seems like too much of a gimmick, if that makes sense. I don't think it does because we're talking about wrestling here. But yeah, don't care about it. She had like a whole storyline with Nikita Lyons and Ashante the Adonis, and nothing happened after that. So Joe Coffey, don't care. Jasmine Nix, don't care. JCJ, don't really care, honestly. Like, she could move up to mid card, but as of right now, don't care. Izzy Dame has not had enough screen time for me to really care. Actually, I take that back. She was involved in the whole Tony D'Angelo losing the North American Championship. And I just had to think about it. Like, that just came back to me. So, don't care. Next up, that is Tank of Hog. No, I don't want it. I don't like it. Please. And right next to him, I believe is his tag team partner, which is the other part of Hank and Tank. Don't really care about it either. Gigi Dolan, don't care. Look, honestly, gives me. I really hate to say like discount Becky Lynch, but it's what it's given. Dragon Lee, don't care. There was a slight moment where I feel like they were trying to tout him as like the next Rey Mysterio. And it's like, no, buddy, Rey is still around and looking great for him to be 50 plus. Anyway, don't care about Dragon Lee. He does have a great interesting. I'm walking through the blood. Yeah, it's about Deion Lennox. Don't care. I believe he's a part of the Dark State situation as well, but he was also involved in the I want to say Carmen Petrovich situation. I think he also had a thing with Izzy Dane happening. I don't care. Brooks Jensen. Don't care. Who is you? Oh, I believe those are the OTM boys. I really regret. I'm not gonna say I regret putting them in no care, but they had a moment where I thought that they were gonna be built up as like the next big thing as far as the NXT Tag Team division goes, and they lost the I was about to say they lost that Axiom. They lost the Fraxium, and nothing happened after that. I thought maybe they'll come back again for a round 2 and maybe actually get the titles this time around. But no. So don't care. And I think they separated from Jada Parker, which is like, why would you ever do that? So don't care. I mean, not like it was their option. I mean, choice. But anyway. Rizzo. Don't really care about her anyway. I want to because that accent, I like listening to it, but I think she had a match a couple weeks ago Didn't really care about it. Channing Stacks Lorenzo, another part of the family, which I noticed that they don't have the other dude from the Luciano D'Angelo. I don't know what his name is, but I actually did like him in the ring. And anyway, yeah, don't care about Stacks. Also, unfortunately, words do not live for Candice LeRae. I feel like almost every wrestling reviewer that I listen to be going up about how great Candice LeRae is in the ring. I've found every single one of her appearances lackluster. I think her best showing to me was probably in the War Games match, but I think maybe I'm remembering more. No, actually, no, she did do pretty good. But yeah, I don't care. I don't know if I just want a gimmick change from her because she was a face for a while. Um, she was a face for a while, and I didn't really care then, and I didn't care when she turned heel. The most interesting thing was when she had the thing with Maxine Dupree, and it didn't seem like it seemed like that was really just another part of her whole heel turn. So anyway, why did I spend that much time on somebody I don't care about? See, I feel like I want to care, but it didn't happen. Anyway, Eric of the War Waiter, I almost said Viking Raiders, and I was about to say War. Well, that was correct. So yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. Anyway, yeah, Eric of the Eric of the War Waiter, War Raiders. Why would I start to say Eric of the War Raiders? I just cannot. I can't muster up the feelings to really care about where he goes as far as like if they split up, if he elevates or not. He's decent in the ring, but yeah, don't care. And the last in the R don't care category is Ren St. Clair. The audiences were really the crowds were going up for her during like the time when she was in part of the Iron Survivor Challenge. I wasn't I was like, why are we doing this? But I mean, it was kind of entertaining to watch like this little underdog story that you kind of knew wasn't going to happen because there was just way too many stars in that match. But anyway, don't really care about what happens with that whole situation. It really is unfortunate that it is a lot of the NXT talent that I can say like I don't really care about, but that is because they have so many like obvious stars that stand out that I do feel like get a lot of the airtime. That is it really is hard for me to get invested in too many of them. But at the same time, if it's good, it's great, and I'm going to gravitate to quality entertainment either way. So moving on up to the mid card. So this category is for people that they get enough screen time, they are good enough in the ring. I like what I see, or I want to see more. And I would say their ceiling is like they could touch a mid card title, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they never did touch a singles title, if you know what I mean. Like it could be a tag team title. So starting us off here is Tatum Paxley. You know, the last in that whole trio with her. You know, I just realized that Tatum is in mid card, Gigi Dolan is in Don't Care, and then Shotzi is in Care. Like it's just like bam, bam, bam. But anyway, yeah, she had a pretty good entertaining story with Wendy Chu. She had a good entertaining story with Fatal Attraction, and I feel like I have not seen her since. I do think she's decent enough in the ring. I like her entrance a lot. That's like the presentation is a lot to me. And I do feel like is it her finisher that just got added to I think it's like she like they grab it and it's boom like it's a twist and then it's like right into the pin. I can't really explain it well. I'm not good at the complex moves to exactly understand what they are. But anyway, yeah, I could see Tatum actually touching a big card title. I'm not sure about the big boys, but you know. Shinsuke Nakamura. I would not be surprised if this man is like one of the next people we hear about either being released or just leaving once their contract, or just doesn't get resigned once their contract's up. Just because I don't think they put the title on this man, gave him a whole new presentation that was dope, put the title on him, and then he was MIA. When he did come back, they tried to do a whole, oh, well, I was watching from the shadows and trying to observe if anybody was worthy and all this. And I was like, bro, no. We don't do that. Not for the, I feel like the mid card belts are like them definitely should be the workhorse championships. And they just spit out in the face of that with his last title reign. Decent enough in the ring. I don't ever see him holding a world title. I don't know if I'm gonna say again because I don't know if he has. I know he won a Royal Rumble, but yeah. Anyway, big card for the good old Shinsuke Nakamura. And right next to him is Ridge Holland. I didn't even notice it just now. I put him right next to his brawling rootsmate Pete Dunne. But yeah, don't really care about Ridge Holland that much. I'm still holding it against you about what happened with Vicky. I'm sorry, it could have happened to anybody. I'm being facetious. I don't know if some accidents happen. But yeah, don't really care about him as much as I will say I was rooting for him to blow up Chase U, but that was just more so because I didn't care about the whole Chase U situation at all. So yeah, that's a win for him. I believe after that he tried to go after the NXT title. Didn't see it for him. Oh, I'm so tired. I was saying it to myself for when I usually go back and watch the video. So yeah, big card for Richie Boy. I like his interest theme. Love his interest theme. I actually listened to that song. Pete Dunne. He just barely made it out of Don't Care because there are moments in the ring where I'm like, he can actually go. So I could see him if they wanted to do something crazy. I could see him touching a mid card title, a singles mid card title. Excuse me. Next up, Oro Mensah, part of Metaphor. Another person who I am actually kind of sad to see on the WWE Evolve trailers too, because I actually thought he could really go in the ring as well. Like I liked his match with he had a match with Ethan Page I thought was really good. I want to say he had one. Did he have one with Trick Williams when he had the title? I can't remember, but there was definitely like some promos and stuff where I was like, I'm actually behind this guy. So, and I really like his look too. He had again presentation is a lot to me. So yeah, big card. Unfortunately, I don't think because I don't see the way he is at least been booked since I've been watching NXT. I don't think that WWE creative is really like. Ooh. So yeah, next up, Natalya, who I feel so bad for having to put in the mid card category because she has definitely had a Hall of Fame career. However, come up far as like the ceiling of her career at the moment. Again, unless they want to do something crazy and put a world title on her, I really only see a mid card, glory for Daddy. It's sad because I went back and watched Total Divas and she's hilarious on that show. But she could really be used as somebody to kind of add to the legacy of the women's intercontinental. Words are kicking my ass today. I'm in a long day at work. Okay, dang, I didn't hit my mic. Anyway, yeah, the women's IC belt, the women's US title should be given to her at some point. I think, just to reward her for like she's probably the longest tenured WWE superstar outside of maybe R-Truth. I mean, you know what? I take that. Well, besides people who like left and came back, I think it's Natalya. Definitely the longest in the women's division. So right behind her is her new tag team partner, Maxine Dupree, which I'm not mad at. You got the veteran with the rookie. That makes sense. Yeah. Those first couple matches with Maxine Dupree was rough. Like I actually got to see those on the main roster. They were rough, but she has improved and she is really entertaining. And I would not be surprised if down the line they just decide to surprise us with a Maxine win won a mid card belt or even a tag team championship. Like it's possible. And right next to her is unfortunately Kairi Sane, who I only got introduced to when she came back to the WWE recently. And I believe she's been injured twice since she came back. So I haven't really got to see a whole lot besides the whole story between the Kabuki Warriors and the Big Three in WrestleMania 40, which was great. I did enjoy that, and then obviously the Tag Team Championship program that happened immediately after. Um, and I would not be surprised if she won a singles title in the mid card too. But I don't see it as far as a world title goes. Next up, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling. Who, I mean, I know I said that sarcastically, but he is really good in the ring. However, I just don't care for him. Like, he made it out of don't care off of his in-ring work alone. So did his tag team partner, Tommaso Ciampa. I would not be surprised. I've heard they had, like, a program together where they were one of them turned on the other in NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if they just ran that back and reversed it on the main roster. Maybe I will get invested into both of them enough to move them up in the main event. But as of right now, both of them are in the mid card, right next to Joaquin Wilde, who just made it out of Don't Care with his tag team partner. Because I actually had to see him in the ring live when they came to Columbus like a year ago during Road to SummerSlam, and he's amazing in the ring, man. Also. Anyway, shout out to my best friend in the background. Like, I don't know if the bisexual coloring was like, the bisexual color scheme was intentional, but thank you. Anyway, Fallon Henley, gorgeous girl. Don't really care about her that much, but she did actually win a big card belt, and I wouldn't be surprised if she won it again. So, yeah, that's how I feel about her. And right next to each other, I could just roll them into one. Brutus and Julie, can I roll their names into one? I think that's what my mouth tried to do. Anyway, Brutus and Julius Creed. They are amazing in the ring, actually. There was a point there when they first got on the main roster where I was like, do they actually want to, do WWE want to hit us with a swerve? Like, I mean, like, hey, these guys are that good to where we actually are about to put some tag belts on them. They did. And right now, I don't feel like they are for a while. I would love to be wrong, but we'll see. Anyway, Shante the Adonis. I like his. He was one who I was like waiting with a bated breath every time they talked about WWE releases because they got rid of Top Dollar from Hit Row, and I was just like, okay, well, clearly he's next because he haven't been on TV for real. And then when he got sent down to NXT, they still wasn't really using him down there besides his angle with Carmen Petrovich. But he is just too good in the ring for them to release him. I think they realized, too, they just haven't really figured out, how to use him and how to make people really care about what anything that he really does. Honestly, I think they just need to lean more into the character he is and just make him more of a heel-like character. Then at the very least, people will love to hate him. So, yeah. Next up, Eddie Thorpe. They are trying, it does seem like they're trying to do something with him right now in NXT. He's decent enough on the mic for me to be like a little bit invested. Like he also barely made it out of Don't Care. It's just because of what did he do recently? Oh, it was the whole angle with Old Bafemi where he basically, words, boy. Like, the words are in my mouth. Like, ugh. Like, it's a WrestleMania. It's a Royal Rumble in my mouth right now with the words. Like, my brain and my tongue are just like, do what you want to do. What you want to do, okay? But anyway, he basically injured himself to get a match with Obafemi, a title match, which he lost, of course. But that was a fun little angle. And if they keep doing more stuff with it like that with him, I could move him up into main event. And if he improves in the ring to actually, for me to be like, okay, I can remember what he did in this match to really make me go, ooh, I like this guy. But, yeah. Next up, Jakara Jackson, another member of Metaphor. Here in the mid card, obviously not with her tag team partner. We'll talk about her here soon. Actually, I don't think that's too soon. Never mind. I like her in the ring. I really like her and Lash Legend as a tag team, but I don't think I live her in singles competition, which is why she is actually in mid card because I do see her ceiling being mid card champion or tag team championships. Um, I mean, she again gorgeous, gorgeous, absolutely stunning. But mid card for Miss Jackson. Anyway, mid card Jackson. I'm sorry. Dakota Kai, same thing, kinda as Jakara Jackson. I like her as a part of Damage Control. I really loved her as a part of as Io Sky's tag team partner. Um, but I have not really been living for her as a singles competitor, especially with her going after the IC Championship, which is kind of crazy because, well, no, actually, I was rooting for Rodriguez. So it was just, once it was obvious she wasn't winning, then I was kind of like Dakota or Lyra, but once Lyra won, it was just like, what? Anyway, Dakota got a big hurt. She gets a better interesting. Grayson Waller. When I come in, they go. When they lay low, lay low. I like his interesting, clearly. Yeah, mid card. Definitely don't see him winning a world title. The Grayson Waller effect, basically just doing his TV all over again. Which is, it is what it is with Grayson Waller. I mean, he's also really good in the ring, though. So, yeah. He's so good at everything because, like, he's good on the mic, too. He's great at being a heel. I haven't seen him as a face. I don't know if he could work as a face. So maybe that's probably why I would only keep him in the big card because I feel like if you make it up to like main event world championship status, like you have to be able to play both sides of that coin. Um, especially with some nuances. Yeah, no. Not never mind. But anyway, Ivy now. Next up, she has been improving in the ring. I don't really fully live for her, but I see something. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I could see her holding mid card though. Um, and also they had a thing like when she was going after Lyra a couple weeks ago, where she actually like attacked him and then she held the belt in the ring, and I was like, she does kind of look good with that belt. Too bad I don't see her winning it anytime soon. Next up, same goes for BFAB. I don't see her winning a big card title, but I could see it if they actually invested the time in her because for as long as she's been on the roster, first of all, I just think she's gorgeous. So I was just paying attention to her just based off that anytime she was on screen. And she be putting that shit on too, like her outfits be like So anyway, when she actually got in the ring for the qualifier matches for the U.S. Championship, I was like, yo. Like there's clips of her like training with Natalia, and I'm like, them skills are definitely them training sessions are paying off because she was putting on a show. She was showing people like, hey, kid, stop, put me on it. Like I'm right, like put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to do this for real, for real. And yeah, I could see her getting better if they really invest more time in her. I could see myself moving her out in mid card, hopefully in a couple of years. But yeah. Next up, unfortunately, I feel so bad for having to put my man Angelo Dawkins, Dogs. I think he is also from Ohio too. I just don't like. He's good. He has great moments in the ring. He does. He really does. But I don't know if I ever see them investing in him enough to put a singles title on him. And I don't know if it's just there for him, like in the character, you know. So it's unfortunate. I could like tag team for sure. Like he could definitely go into the Hall of Fame as part of as a part of the Street Profits. But by myself, I don't know if I see that. That is really unfortunate. And right next to him, which I really wish I put him ahead of them because I don't really live for them all that much. But them two do go together, okay? In the ring, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine, the Motor Shitty, the Motor Shitty, the Motor Shitty. I said the Motor Shitty. You just fix it. The Motor City Machine Guns. That is why I think that's why I said that people be talking about. I've heard a couple people where I'll be like, I just tell some people like, Yeah, I like their accent. Like, I have an accent. Anyway, the Motor City Machine Guns are amazing. They're amazing in the ring. There was a lot of pomp and circumstance when they came into the WWE. So much so that they, like, in their third match, they won gold. Um, Unfortunately, I don't see anything outside of mid card gold for them. I don't. And I really, really, really hate Chris Sabin's haircut. Moving on. Alba Fire. I love watching Alba Fire in the ring. Like, she got one of the meanest super kicks that I've ever seen. Like, don't even play like you about to hit me with that. I will break that foot. Like, we're up. But yeah. I love that she's part of the Secret Service now. I was always a little worried when Isla Dawn got released, her tag team partner. I'm really pissed that they didn't at least try to do something with those two and Blair Davenport before they decided to get rid of them. Get rid of Blair Davenport and Isla Dawn. But yeah, Alba Fire, she is fire. Unfortunately, I only see her touching mid card gold. I honestly don't know if I see her touching singles mid card gold, but again, hopefully I'm wrong because she is that good in the ring. Next up, Shayna Baszler, who I don't know if she actually won a world championship. I don't. I know she's won the NXT title, yes, because I know she's like pushed as like a monster heel at one point. Um, but I don't see that ever being the case ever again. They could, but I don't think they will. Santos Escobar. See, that was so funny when he was doing that. He is really funny. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but intentional or unintentional. Is that what I just said, or did I say something different? We'll find out when I edit. He is so good in the ring that like I want to put him in world champion so bad, but the character, I don't know if I see it there for him. I don't know. I do not know if I can do that. But he could touch a mid card belt. He could, definitely. Akira Tozawa. I am so like this man. It's like once a year, ever since I've been watching WWE this time around. Every like they will pull him out of the locker room like, hey, Tozawa, tonight we want you to go show these people why you have a job, okay? And he just goes and just shocks the world. Like there was a whole stretch where he was like the underdog going up against all of these big men, and he was putting on some really good matches against like I'm pretty sure he had one against Bronson Reed. Um, he had, at least at that time, also had one with Ivar, one with Omos. But more recently, he had one with Ivar, had one with Gunther. And it was like, Akira Tozawa can go in the ring so much so that if they wanted to swerve us, do something different, I could see him touching a mid-card belt. A singles mid-card belt. You know what? I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not a singles. A tag team mid-card. I can see him touching the tag. So, like, I would love for him to touch a singles mid-card belt, but if that were the case, he would be one more tier up. So I had to. That is how much I had to be like, wait, I'm still talking about the mid card. But to round out the mid card tier is Tangaloa and Tamatanga. Uh, Not gonna lie, I want to put them in main event just based off of the pure meme potential. They are hilarious. The way that Tamatanga came out and crawled up that wall, the fencing for the War Games cage, like that, and I do not take enough moments in life to just seize the opportunity to just people. Like I do, or if somebody's annoying me, just shh. Yes, like I want to do that so bad to people. It would be so rude. Especially if they're not, they're not aware of where it's coming from. But yeah, I could see them actually touching. Actually, I can't see them touching mid card singles gold, which is why they're in mid card because obviously they have touch tag gold, and I think that's where their ceiling is at the moment. Who knows? They can do some. There's always potential for great storytelling within the bloodline. So moving on to the main event. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so I feel like I have some. Like, I gotta answer. I feel like I gotta answer for some of these choices here. Starting off, okay. Well, just to explain real quick, the only difference between the main event and the mid card is people in this main event category are people that, given the right, TLC, given enough TLC, given the right storylines, given enough opportunities, and actually set up to win, as opposed to just being thrown out, to just to the people, just all willy nilly. Um, I could see them touching singles gold, mid card gold. Because if you can touch a mid card title, you can main event a show or a PL. So, starting us off, there is Zoe Stark, who debuted on the main roster with fucking Trish Stratus, and they did absolutely. I ain't gonna say they did nothing with her after, because they did have her going after Rhea Ripley, going after the title. She went out. She had like two, maybe three different opportunities. Didn't win none of them. After that, the whole PFC angle, which went nowhere, and it's unfortunate because she is great in the ring, which is why she is a main event, because I could definitely see her with the right opportunities, with the right storylines, being set up to succeed, being a mid card singles champion. Uh, Same goes for Zarya, who I'm not gonna lie, out of the like three signees for like the big three signees as far as the NXT Women's Division goes, with Julia, Stephanie Becker, and Zarya. She was like the third on that rung, and I mean, even if you want to throw Jory Grace in there, she then gets bumped down to fourth. Just because I haven't been as impressed with her as a character worker or a ring as much as I have been with like Stephanie Becker, Julia, Jory Grace. But I see it though. Like I see the potential there if they do the right things with her. I see her touching mid card singles gold. Same thing. Well, I can say the same thing for Ricky Saints because he literally is holding a mid card belt right now. Charisma, like to a T. Like he's coming around the corner. And you can see the charisma just radiating off of. And in the ring, he's fine. I still have not seen enough matches to be like he's great in the ring, but I wasn't let down when I watched. So let's just say that. And on to Ray Phoenix, who I was slightly let down by, which is why he only cracks main event. And granted, it is, as of right now, he's only had two matches. Probably going to be three by the time tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's going to be Thursday, so the 2 more days probably going to be three. But as of right now, I was very let down. If it wasn't for his last match with Berto, I would not. He would have made it in the don't care category. Not gonna lie, especially because I think even before Penta debuted, there was like a lot of rumblings and rumors. Oh man, I put rumblings and rumors into one word. Like I tried to say them both at the same time. You see what I mean by my tongue and my brain trying to fight? They're like, bro, get through this, hurry up. We're tired of talking. I have issues. But yeah, Ray Phoenix definitely showed out in that match with Berto, and I would not be surprised if he is touching a singles title this time next year. Next up, Piper Niven. I am always, always, always very, very surprised. Well, I shouldn't say I'm always surprised, but I'm always delighted when I see her in the ring because, like, just she just goes out there and be like, "Yeah, I do this," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do." And if Chelsea Green doesn't lose that U.S. title to Zelina Vega, which is looking like they're trying to set it up for her, and I really actually hope it happens because Zelina Vega deserves it. I wouldn't be surprised if they set up an angle of Piper Niven versus Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven being the one to actually take the title from her. Side note, there was not really a side note because I'm still talking about Piper Niven. She had really great matches with Bailey at Clash of the Castle. Also with Bianca Belair at. It may have been a backlash. It may have been a backlash, but I think also it was back when she was being called to drop. So anyway, next up on the list we have Otis. I refuse to call him Otis. Um, Otis is see, I love watching Otis in the ring. I just said I can't call him Otis, and I just call him Otis. Yeah, I love watching Otis. He's just so entertaining. Another one of those people. He just puts the E in WWE. You want to be entertained when you watch these things. Really pissed that they did not capitalize on the popularity of him when Chad Gable was being a dick to Alpha Academy, and everybody wanted Otis. Now I'm trying not to say Otis, and I keep saying it. Problems. Yeah. They did capitalize on his popularity, and it is very, very saddening. They did decide to like resurrect that story and put it on the Raw Netflix debut. It was just like, okay, whatever. Next up, Lola Vice. I see star written all over her. If they wanted to, I think they could take the same route with just because she also has the MMA background. They could do a Shayna Baszler S monster heel push for her, where she is just a terror on the women's division. And I see a situation like that leading to a nice big card title for her. So yeah, Lola Vice, main event. Same goes for Sol Ruka, who has one of the most creative finishers I've seen in recent history. I was so excited when I seen her on the roster for WWE 2K25 because that meant I could use her finisher with one of my creative wrestlers. Turns out I'm using with both. She's also just really good in the ring too. She's one of those people where it look like every time she comes out, she's just like she's having so much fun, and that kind of energy is infectious. So yeah, she was the number one. She was the person that I thought was going to win that ladder match for the inaugural North American Women's title. Like I thought it was going to be her. But who I wanted to be is the next person on the list, Lash Legend. The reason I started watching NXT in the first place, just because I kept seeing clips of the whole storyline between her and Trick Williams. And I also was just seeing pictures of her, and I was like, she is a star. I just see star in that woman. She's also just gorgeous, like tall, chocolate. You know what I mean? She's just she's gorgeous. Anyway, she's also really good in the ring. I saw that clip of her. I wasn't watching NXT at the time, but I did see the reel of her being able to lift Otis. Like, I said it again. It's Otis. He's Otis. She lifted him, and it was like, oh my God, that woman right there. Lash Legend is it. I could see her winning some mid card gold and with some with the right TLC, she could definitely win a main title or world title. There's enough time to where they could fumble that, so that is always somewhere I want her in world champion. Also, some of her promos do come off a little. They don't really hit sometimes, but she wasn't someone. But anyway, moving on to Javon Evans. I don't like him as much as everybody else seems to. He just don't really hit for me. In the ring, it does, though. Like, I'm very impressed by the things that he does. But I don't really live for Javon Evans like that. Wet my wishes here. Wet my wishes. Ooh, some good high quality issue. Next up, JB McDonough. Bless that man's heart for that nasty injury that he went through. Like he got injured at the beginning of the match for real, and still proceeded to put on the whole match, and it was a great match. I believe it was the Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. God bless that man and his neck and all of his parts that were. Um, yeah. No, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. If when he does come back, when he does come back, I would not be surprised if they award that man with a good old piece of nice gold to wrap around his waist. And he was already a tag team champion, so yeah, he was. Next up, Cora Jade. I've only seen her since she came back recently in NXT. Does seem like they do care enough about her character. I have seen discussions and stuff where people talk about like who would be like the next set of the four horsemen with the NXT girls. Mostly, of course, Roxanne Perez, Tiffany Stratton, and Laura Valkyria, and Cora Jade is thrown in there as well. So I would not be surprised if we actually see that type of rise for her, even though I don't necessarily live her that much in the ring or as a character. So yeah. Next on the list, two that I live for so much that it just saddens my heart. My soul cries tears every episode of Monday Night Raw that goes by. And Kaden Carter and Katana Chance are not on the screen. Because they are fucking amazing together in the ring. They are easily the best women's tag team that the WWE has. But nobody would know it because they don't get any screen time. They get some, they get, like I would say, it's single digits amount of matches that they'll probably get throughout the year. And that is a travesty. Because the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles, desperately need some action. And the fact that they basically called them up just to unify the NXT women's tag team titles with the WWE women's tag team titles is saddening, and they never got them back. Like I really was hoping that there were going to be a storyline of them eventually getting those belts back, especially when Shayna and Ronda had them, and then they had that whole storyline where they turned on each other. So it's a travesty they don't get more, especially because during the qualifying matches for the women's Intercontinental Championship, Kaden Carter looked like $1,000,000 in that match. Like if I want to say Bayley was in that match. If Bayley was not in that match, I would have thought that Kaden Carter was going to win. It was either Bayley or Lyra Valkyria. I'm not sure which one of them. No, I think it might have been Raquel Rodriguez. Might have been Raquel. She wasn't in that match. Whoever it was, Kaden Carter should have won just off the performance alone. She's so dope. Like I think she could go at it as a singles champion. Next up, we got Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, who we have actually seen has some, different singles opportunities, singles matches throughout their tag team title reign, which is crazy. Like they were holding tag team belts and still going after singles opportunities, and like had beef because of it within their team, and still kept their belts throughout every single match. It was putting on banger after, to steal Sheamus is saying, banger after banger, literally in the same show sometimes because they have a singles match and then have to defend those tag team titles in the same night like that. Those two are amazing. And Nathan Frazier did have a decent match against Ray Phoenix in his debut match. I'm saying decent because there was just too many botches in that for me to say that it was amazing. And like I said, Ray Phoenix only won me over the Berto match. So anyway, after that, speaking of Berto, he is next up on the list, right next to. One second. I'm getting a little much. Okay. See, when I start to talk about age and gossip. That's disgusting. But anyway, also extremely talented in the ring, especially with his partner Berto. They are probably one of the best tag teams on the main roster, in my opinion. In ring alone, when I started watching WWE again during the 2023 Royal Rumble, I went back like a year and started watching some of that content all the way up to where I started. And like all the way up to where I came in to wrestling. And there was like back when they were still going by Los Lotharios, like they were having some really, really great matches. And it is, I feel like they're starting to elevate them a little bit more, like they're getting more screen time so people actually care about them. And I do think there's actually a legit story happening with Legado del Fantasma. So I'm excited to see where that goes because they are really, really good. And I would not be surprised if they went at gold. Again, if they invest a lot of TLC into them as singles competitors, I wouldn't be surprised if they touch Midge card. Midge card. What's Midge card? What's Midge card? Is that the mid card on like the midget wrestling? I've seen ads for those. I'm sorry, it's midget. I'm sorry, little people. Excuse me. But yeah, they are amazing. Same goes for Andrade El Idolo. Especially for there's like ever since I've been watching wrestling. Usually people who use like the high flying luchador style, like it doesn't really hit that well, I'm not saying it don't hit that hard entertainment wise, but in ring it doesn't really look like it has much impact. Like so for somebody like Andrade, like all of his offense looks so vicious. Like that spinning back elbow looks so freaking painful. Like, I want to try to hit somebody with it if I ever get into a fight. Like, that's how impactful it looks. And, like, out of his performances, it's unfortunate, I don't think the crowd cares about him. Every time his music hits, it's like the crowd goes loud. But once the bell starts and the match get going, like, people are out of their seats because he is that good. And it's unfortunate that nobody will probably ever get to invest in his character like that, mostly probably because his English is not that well. If they stick a mouthpiece with him, I think he'd be great. Like I've heard other reviewers talk about him being with Zelina Vega in the past. They are both on Smackdown now, where I'm not doing that. Like, that could really elevate him. Probably her too. Next up, Logan Paul, who is probably number 2 on the list of reasons why I got back into WWE. Not because I'm a Logan Paul fan, but because, like I just said, I started at the 2023 Royal Rumble. If you know, there is a amazing spot between him and Ricochet, where they go from, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Why can't I think of the word? They literally go from ring to like one end of the ring, other end of the ring, both springboard, boom, midair clash. Like that was so dope. Like, and then it looked like the impact like was so. It was just everything. Like that moment would have you like, wait a minute, this is what WWE is doing now. I got to get back into it. Like I got to see what's going on. And then you hear about like how they got to that spot and how like Logan, I guess, was probably like worried about it or whatever, and then Ricochet was just like you don't even worry about it. You just go, and I'm gonna go off of you, and for it to hit the way that it did, like that is talent right there. And every match afterwards, honestly, every time Logan Paul was in the ring, like there's even Michael Cole just said it on commentary. They're like, we always say we're surprised about Logan Paul performances, but at this point, why are we still surprised? And yes, why is anybody surprised by how good he is? He's really that good. Even if his matches are choreographed, like you still got to go out and do the moves, like and make it good. So somebody who ain't got no problem with that is B Chin, who is next up on the list. I love B Chin, but apparently the crowd does not. Okay, like again, another one. Music hits, the crowd goes loud. Even throughout the match, when like there be moments where she, like try to fire him out and stuff like that. It's painful to watch sometimes because I actually really like her in the ring and I think she's really great, but nobody's to give her flowers. I've seen some people say she needs a new entrance name. I like her entrance name. I am the one that I like it, but yeah, it just doesn't resonate with the fans. She also did have one of my favorite main roster star goes down to NXT to have a little run. Like she did her thing when she went to go do that to kind of put up to help elevate the NXT women's talent. And she was like second on people that I wanted to win that inaugural U.S. North American Championship or U.S. the Women's NXT North American Championship. Because I'm like, that would be super dope for them to take this main roster talent who hasn't really been given much to do and have her elevate a big card belt on NXT. But they didn't want to do that, and they also didn't want to let her win the U.S. title, which is so sad. Honestly, it's really just unfortunate that the only other person she's competing with that is Chelsea Green. Because Chelsea Green is so popular that it's like, how can you not put the belt on her? But moving on to Braun Strowman, who I don't ever see winning a world championship. Like, there's just so many main event stars that I just don't see it for Braun Strowman. But I am entertained when he's in the ring. I will say that much. And same goes for Ilya Dragunov. Even though there wasn't much for me to see since he was injured not long after he debuted on the main roster, and I only really watched him on the main roster. I didn't get into NXT until after he really got called up. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I was about to say, I wanted to say something else about him, but I couldn't really connect the thoughts. So, moving on. Ivar, amazing in the ring. Wow. There's a few people who will get separated from their tag team partners, and Ivar is one of them because he literally was, because Eric was injured for a pretty decent amount of time. And I like that WWE decided to be like, hey, we're about to let you, kind of have your own singles thing happen instead of just benching him as well until his partner got better. Because he's that good in the ring. Like, he's one of the few people who, if the tag team thing didn't work out and like we just want to use him in the singles division, I would not mind it. I would definitely see him winning a big card belt, a singles belt. Yeah, Ivar's great. Like, he was one of those guys when I first started watching again where I was like, oh my god, like big men are moving like this now? Like, what? Crazy work. Next up, we have one of the most entertaining tag teams on the entire SmackDown division. On the entire SmackDown division, in the entire SmackDown division. Jesus, these words are just, I don't think I'm winning today. Well, actually, I am. There's more correct sentences than myself. Okay. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. I just want Pretty Deadly the musical at this point. And it's also a travesty that I don't think that multi-team SmackDown Tag Team Division title match is going to happen at WrestleMania, because I think that would be the most perfect and beautiful train wreck that anybody would ever witness, and it could be the perfect catalyst for getting Pretty Deadly those titles. I feel like besides Legado del Fantasma, they're the only team in that mix that hasn't actually held those belts. And it would be great to see them have a nice, glorious heel run with those titles. And yeah, hopefully we do see it. Next up, Raquel Rodriguez. Really, really like Raquel Rodriguez. I think she has one of the most gorgeous smiles on the entire WWE roster. When I came back into wrestling, she was kind of being pushed as a babyface of big opposition to Rhea Ripley. And there was a couple times where I thought she might actually take that belt off of Rhea Ripley. But after she lost, I want to say she was involved in the Fatal 4-Way match. I believe it was her, Shayna Baszler, Joey Stark, all going at Rhea Ripley at the same time. And I think it even ended with her pinning all three of them. Like, I was like, yeah, it's over. She's not winning that belt. But I really would not be surprised if she came out with that women's intercontinental title. Like, that would be really cool for her, honestly. We get to see more character from her, hopefully. And I think she has the chops to pull it off. I wanna, at least when I make this video again in a couple of years, because I did talk about it the first time when I did the 3-hour version, that I do want to do this again and hopefully go back and maybe every year around WrestleMania season, kind of go back and evaluate where I will rank everybody on the roster, and hopefully she moves up. And another person I hope moves up next time around is Solo Sikoa, who was easily one of the most entertaining things on WWE TV last year when he was doing his whole thing as the tribal chief. It was I think it started out as very, very unintentional, but then he even saw the writing on the wall and just kind of linked into it, and it worked. it worked, and it is a shame that it looks like he might not get on the WrestleMania card this year after the amazing year he had. Same goes for Uncle Howdy / Bo Dallas, who only makes it up to main event where everybody else is catering, because I feel like we had enough of him on the mic to and in backstage promos, pre-show promos and all of that, to where I could see the potential. I could see him, like, he's not the kind of character that needs a mid card title, but I could see him holding a mid card title for sure. If you hold a mid card title, you can make it in the show. I think the White Six were also definitely like the main event of whatever show that they faced off against Chad Gable. 80% sure they weren't the main event when they faced off against the Final Testament. Like, who idea was it to do that? But yeah, Uncle Howdy main event, and he rounds out the main event here. And we're gonna have to do some adjusting to our camera here to start talking about the world champion. So yeah, move my camera down a little bit. And yeah, I like that. I like a lot. So, the world champion tier. This is everybody who I can see it in my mind. I can see them with that world title. It looks good on them. And it is not just a thought in my brain. It's something that I can see in the real world. And starting off with that is Shawn Spears in NXT. It's just the way, something about his character. Like, Mr. Money in the Bank, yeah. Like, I could see him taking that route. I can't say like I'm blown away in the ring or anything like that, but his character does, like, he gets me. Like, whenever he pops up on screen, I'm always interested. And yeah, with the right kind of TLC, he can be built up to world champion status. Yeah, and somebody who technically, honestly, already is there. Like, Lyra Valkyria is good enough in the ring to where she could justify. I could see them just. Excuse me. I could see Lyra Valkyria holding the world title. I will say one thing that bothers me about her character is they keep doing this thing on commentary. Oh, Lyra Valkyria says she feels free when she flies, or she feels like herself when she flies. I've never seen a single impressive high-flying move from her that's like blown me away for that to continue to be a thing. It bothers my spirit. She's a really great technical wrestler. I don't think I've seen a bad Lyra Valkyria matches. There's always moments where they're just grappling in the ring, and there's, just reversals and switches and all of that happening, and I'm just like, I could never. Like, do your thing, boo-boo. Do your thing. But to quote my girl Lucci V, I just don't see it for the Bird Lady as far as like the next tier up, but I see how they treat her, how she's booked, that like she's definitely holding a world title sometime in the future. Same goes for Ludwig Kaiser. Shout out to anybody who remember when Samantha Irvin. Samantha Irvin. Nah, she didn't die. She just not a part of the WWE. She's still not his name like that. It made me interested in Ludwig Kaiser when I used to start hearing his name being announced, because I was like, why is she saying his name like that? But also, why does it suit him so well? And he just comes out all snooty, just doing his little walk. Oh man, he's a career heel. Like, I could see him having a storyline where he eventually like turns on Gunther, and then we get a babyface Gunther program out of that situation. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther is holding the world title when that happens, and Ludwig Kaiser takes it off of him. LA Knight, he barely made this list because it's more so like we see you, LA, and we appreciate what you did on your way out of this company. Because he is like mid 40s, high 40s, like he's not a spring chicken at all. But he is very entertaining. Like, he is one of the first people who I was like, I came into it and was like, I don't want to like this guy, and he just won me over. He was just that good. I think I was actually there to see him go from heel to babyface during like the last Bray Wyatt match in that program. I think immediately after that he went babyface. So LA Knight world champion for sure. Karrion Kross, he is like the male Chelsea Green as far as like he will maximize every single second. His seconds feel like minutes, and there are great moments in television. Like, he does great. Like he excels in like the nuances, the small character work, and stuff like that. Like that's how you get me. Okay, like I like drama, and this ain't nothing. Wrestling ain't nothing but body slam. A soap opera with body slams, and he's providing the small things, the little things in the background, and I love every bit of it. And he also had one of my favorite entrances. I think they said recently he went back to his old entrance, and it was cut out of the latest episode of Raw, where it's just black and white, the whole fallen prey. Oh my god, it is so good. Next up, somebody who is very, very good in the ring is the inaugural North American NXT North American Women's North American title holder, Kalani Jordan. I think she was like fourth or fifth on everybody's like ranking of people who was actually going to win that match, but just made it that much more surprising when she won. And it was interesting for me to see because that was the first time that I saw somebody who didn't give champion vibes, who won a belt and was immediately elevated to where that next show after, and she came out with that title on. I was like, yeah, nah, that looks right. Like you not only did you earn it because the match was so great, but yeah, this looked like this is what it's supposed to be. So I really like Kalani Jordan. I do see her holding the world championship one day. A nice little underdog story, probably, or just not underdog story. Like she like. Let me see if I can fantasy book this. Like she probably wants like a gauntlet match or something. Like she one of those people. Like she not gonna win it at number one. Oh, she wins it. Yeah. Jada Parker. Miss Parker. She is super fine. So when I say super fine, I mean super fine. Like, like I don't like to be disrespected or like talk too crazy, but she could talk any way she wants. But in the ring, another really good worker. She has some really good matches with B-Chin. That street fight with B-Chin was amazing. On the mic, she's great. Like like her character is one of those where it's like I just want to just keep her on screen for as much as possible, not just because I don't know what she looks, but like that attitude, that like this is mine, I'm up next, like it is so palpable. I love everything about it, and I would be very surprised if when she does get called up to the main roster, she is not holding the world title one day. Honestly, I'd be surprised if she escapes NXT without holding the NXT Women's Championship. But next on the list, somebody who's already held the NXT Women's Championship is Julia, the beautiful madness herself, who definitely came into NXT with a lot of pomp and circumstance. And it was warranted because I was like, okay, I see her ring was like, you earned that. Okay, I can see why they were making a big deal about this. And I'm excited to see her stand in the liver match with Stephanie McHare. I really wish it was a one-on-one match. But I'm excited. It's a fatal four-way with Jada Parker and Jordan Grace. I can't wait to see how that goes. And also, just mentioned her. Not be mad at Stephanie McHare. Somebody else I can also see hold world championship. She's literally held 2 belts. Defended 2 belts same night. Crazy work. And she's like, if there's anybody on the NXT roster who they could just be like, yo, we're tired of playing around. Just come on up to the main roster, play with the big boys. It is Stephanie McHare. I could see her being immediately inserted into the women's main event picture. No problem. Next up, same thing kind of goes for Ethan Page too. Like I think he's really just in NXT to help the men's division because like when it comes to really popular guys who you could see actually hold that men's in it, words the men's NXT title. Uh, Ethan Page is like one of five who's in that picture. Another one who's just like really good on mic, really entertaining on screen. Mexico, ho ho ho. So I jokingly like his song. It gets stuck in my head and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, All Ego is definitely winning the world championship one day. Same can go for the hot mess herself, Chelsea Green. Another segment for her being holdover, which I'm so glad that they included her actual opening and just for her song, her music. She again, I already said she maximizes every single second that she is on screen, and how can you not love this one? Like, it is insane how somebody can get so over with the fans with so little. Like, that one's amazing. And I actually really, I'm not ashamed to say it, I like her intro song. I'm a hot mess. Yes, I like it. More people should use that as their thing. I know several. Anyway, Zelina Vega. So gorgeous. And so freaking good and underrated. I really thought that after she had that backlash moment with Rhea Ripley, that they would like start doing some things of substance with her. Yep. I don't know why I did, because they haven't. Hopefully, she wins the title off of Chelsea Green. She doesn't. I'm like, girl, just go ahead and just you can like go find work something that's going to value, because it's insane. It's insane. She should have held the world title at least once back now. Like, who cares if it's a short reign? Just give it to her. Next up, Carmelo Hayes. All right. Next up, we got Carmelo Hayes, who is like, I'm sorry, y'all. The disrespect of Carmelo Hayes and how he was treated in the Royal Rumble just was like boiling in my spirit for a second there. Like, I was trying not to say bad words. He's just too good. Like, the man got called up to the main roster and had a match with Cody Rhodes. An amazing match with Cody Rhodes. First time. Like, the 7-match series between him and Andrade that I feel like was only there to elevate LA Knight's LA title run. To elevate LA Knight's US title run. It is a travesty that is all it was pretty much used for. And I don't think either of them got a legit crack at their title afterwards. At least one where you thought they were actually going to win. Because it should have happened. Hopefully, I mean, he's in a tag team with The Miz right now. Hopefully he does end up coming up on some tag team gold. I just look at that man and tell me that gold don't go around his waist. Anyway, next to him is NXT buddy, Trick Williams. The reason why, one of the reasons why I started watching NXT, I kept seeing clips about the angle between him and Carmelo Hayes. I didn't really get to actually witness it. By the time I started watching NXT, Trick Williams had already won the belt. So I am a little upset that I didn't actually get to watch that happen. But I love Trick Williams. He is one of those people where I'm just like, I enjoy watching him on the screen. I love rooting for him. He does have moments on the mic where he kind of slips up a little bit. So I can see why he's still on NXT as opposed to being called up to the main roster. But also he is kind of like in that same boat with Ethan Page, where I think he kind of is ready for the main roster. It's just that NXT, the guys really need, some more. And Trick Williams being there definitely helps him out. Another person who helps that out is Wesley, who I got to see make his return from his really bad injury. And I also got to see him do a heel turn, which has actually been really entertaining. I've loved him as a heel so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got called up to the main roster too. But same boat as Trick Williams, same boat as Ethan Page. The NXT men's division and the main event picture really needs somebody who feel like legit contenders, especially to the current champion, who we'll get to next tier. Um, next and final tier. Next up is Big Bronson Reed. Drop the big. Just Bronson Reed is enough, honestly. Tsunami is one of the finishers that I'm like, you gotta pay me good to take that, especially from that man. Like, too damn big for that. It's really unfortunate that after his really big push that was actually working for me, made me become a fan of his so much so that I could see him with the big boy belt around his waist. It's really unfortunate that he got injured in War Games because I feel like after that there was some really, really big things on the table for him, no pun intended. And, you know, just one of the unfortunate aspects of wrestling is that people get injured sometimes. And hopefully when he comes back, they just kind of pick everything up where it left off. And he is inserted in that main event picture, and he is booked like a legit contender to a world title. Same goes for Austin Theory. It is very unfortunate that we are waiting for what feels like 40 years, like 40 nights, 40 days. I'm sorry, I said 40 nights, 40 summers, 39 winters for this Austin Theory babyface turn. I really enjoy watching him as a heel. Like he is so good in the ring that he almost won me over just based off that alone. But he's still one of those people that kind of love to hate. I just know when the face turn happens, it's going to be amazing to watch too. Hopefully, there's a really good storyline set up for that after. Okay, like do not do this lazily. Make it worth the wait, WWE. And hopefully, part of making that worth the wait is put the world title around that place. Okay. Next up is Jordan Grace, who made her debut technically last year in the Women's Royal Rumble. And they did definitely treat her like somebody who like you should be on the lookout for. So, and I wasn't surprised when she signed with the WWE, and had her program with Roxanne Perez and NXT before that. Which I was honestly hoping she beat her and won the title off of her. Like that would have been really cool to have the NXT title on TNA. It probably would have maybe have to start watching TNA as well. But it didn't happen, so I didn't do that. Jordan Grace, like in the ring, I guess like she's okay, but like there's just I've avoided using this word so far, but she has a certain aura about her that I'm like, she's definitely winning the world title one day. And less on the aura side and a lot more in the ring section. We got Montez Ford, who like I'm willing to go on like full blown war for what WWE created about not booking this man or not letting this man go on a singles run. I feel like there was a good period when Dox was injured. People, don't know that Angelo Dox is sometimes just called Dox by them because we watch Bianca Belair and Montez Ford reality show because that's where they call him. Anyway, Angelo Dawkins was injured for a while, and they did not do. They should have did the same thing they did with Ivar and just let Montez go on a singles run. Why are we playing in his face like that? He's so good. I want to say it was the 2023 Elimination Chamber where he actually competed and had one of the best performances in, and they did absolutely nothing with him afterwards. And the way of singles opportunities, it is a travesty every time I see him on screen, and he's not being allowed to just fly free in the singles division. Next up, somebody else who was part of the reason why I started watching wrestling again, because I thought Jade Cargill was in WWE, and I was so upset when I started watching it, and she was not. I was like, oh, that's why these clips look so different. But then the 2024 Royal Rumble happened, and she made that entrance. I mean, she got signed before that, and she made an appearance here and there and whatnot, but that Royal Rumble appearance, ah, I mean, like, just presentation, everything about, like, she had same thing, same as Last Legend, but on, like, a way grander scale. When you see her, you're like, that woman is a star. In the ring, people can have that criticism. Personally, I have not seen nothing so egregiously bad from her, where it's like, I don't see her hold world title one day. Like, it's gonna happen. If it does not happen, if by this time next year, Jade Cargill still does not have a women's world championship on her waist, I will shave one side of my head. Okay. Moving on to Tiffany Stratton. Like I said, one of the new four horsemen, if you will. I really don't have nothing bad to say about Tiffany Stratton when it comes to the ring. I don't have nothing bad to say when it comes to promo skills. I mean, she could be a little better on the mic, but that's obviously because she's still new, especially as a babyface, which I think was definitely the wrong call. We've had heel versus heel programs before. I don't know why we could not do that with this WrestleMania bill, but clearly she is currently holding a world championship, so she's a world champion. There's still plenty of time for them to fumble with her for it to not be a Hall of Fame situation. So yeah, this is where she ends up, and I probably will catch some flack for having Alexa Bliss also in world champion category. I went back and saw the storyline between her and Bianca Belair, and I just didn't live for it for real like that. I didn't really live for her a whole lot in regards to her. I think I've also heard other criticisms about that particular character that she was portraying around that time. So maybe that was the problem. But also, like, in ring, she hasn't blown me away. But like, I see why people were so excited about her coming back, which is why she is up in world champion, and I'm pretty sure she is a multi-time world champion. Moving on to somebody who I know will be a multi-time world champion is Braun Breaker. I mean, God damn, did this man have to possess so much athleticism? For one being to possess this much athleticism in one body is a travesty. It is a crime against humanity, and I am jealous. I like his interest theme. It grew on me. Like, they changed it, and I didn't really like it at first, but now it kind of hits. Just like that spear, like that. Ouch. Like my ribs hurt just thinking about his spear. So yeah, I just realized how that would sound, but I don't care. Moving on. How you doing? Settle. Yero. Ah. Penta is one of the most entertaining people on the WWE roster right now. I think ever since his debut, when he came in, like I said, presentation is everything. Just his pyro, his music, the way he like kind of saunters out to the like down the ramp, it just oozes charisma, and in the ring, it's just like, why are you this good, sir? Like, why are you trying to show up the whole roster? Why are you doing this? He is so good. I would not be surprised if he's a world champion. I wouldn't say by next year, but within the next 2 years, I would not be surprised if Vince touched a world title. Damian Priest, somebody who has recently been a world champion. Well, I don't know. Can you still say that's been recent? It was in the last year, so it's recent. I love Damian Priest. He's one of those people where I just I want to be his best friend. I want to have a friend like Damian Priest. He just seems like a cool dude, honestly, with all of the backstage segments, the clips online that I've seen. Especially since he left the Judgment Day. Even while he was in the Judgment Day, like while they were doing their whole thing with R-Truth, he was clearly having so much fun in that angle that I was having fun watching him. So, in ring, he's amazing. He does everything that, like, okay, let me. Yeah, no, he is amazing in ring. I was about to say, like, there's been a couple big botches, but, like, who doesn't botch every now and again? Like, you do what they do in the ring in a live situation as many times as they do. Like, you're going to have a couple mess ups. So I'm not going to know that. So, also, I like his entrance. His music. Next to him, somebody else who I just, everything that I've seen of Jimmy Uso makes me want to be his best friend. Like, please, are you taking applications for best friend? I want you in my life. So now, but he's just so fun on screen. Like, again, having a good time every time I see him on screen. His performance in the men's War Games match this year at Survivor Series was like, to me, he was the MVP of War Games. Full stop. And again, a travesty that he was used to elevate the Jey Uso group third storyline instead of being involved in the U.S. title picture at WrestleMania, because I think it would have been really cool to have both of the Usos chasing singles titles at Mania this year. And our last NXT representative for the World Champion tier, over motherfucking Philly. Woo! That's what they say when they mention it. It's like, do, woo, do, woo, do, woo, do. No, I'm sorry. That's literally, I do it on screen. Like, I'll be at home by myself watching NXT and I'll be on the couch when they be doing it. Ooh, it's just so good. And he is so, why is he this good? Why is he so entertaining to watch? Like, damn you, Santi Zap, for glazing Obafemi so much that I was like, man, I gotta go start watching NXT now. Because who is this dude? And he didn't disappoint. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a bad Obafemi match. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Obafemi promo. Like, this man is winning a world title one day. So, yeah. Obafemi Nahula is definitely in world champion tier. And our last man, or our last monster, I should say, rounding out the world champion title picture is Jacob Fat 2. Damn you, Braun Strowman. And again, Santi's out for continuously saying it. Yeah. Jacob Fatu is just in another realm, on another planet. For him to be like a man his body type should not move with the agility that he moves with. Should not be able to fly like how he flies. The intensity in this man's performances. Like, I would be scared if I met him in real life. If there wasn't so many pictures online, social media ruined kayfabe, by the way. If there wasn't so many images of him online just being like a cool, chill dude, I would be terrified of his appearance. As soon as I seen him out the corner of my eye, down the street. Jacob Fatu is amazing and ring. He, on the mic, I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to start taking a shot every time he says all gas, no brakes. But I believe it every time he says it. So, yeah, world champion. And that is the last of the world champion tier. And that brings us to the last and final tier. Here is the Hall of Fame. Alright, that's how we're going to do this. Yeah. Okay. So, the Hall of Fame tier could not be any more self-explanatory. That is obviously where I see these people making it one day, even if it's not today. So, Hall All right. Last pause. Last tier. Let's do this. Now, Sami Zayn only made it into the Hall of Fame category off of in-ring ability alone, and just because of his. So my intro, third and final intro back into the world of WWE was during the time that Sami Zayn was leaving the Bloodline, or well, more so getting kicked out of the Bloodline, or I guess chose to leave the Bloodline. So it was just a really entertaining story. But then, of course, you know, he gets thrown into the story around Gunther and the current legal title and all of this other stuff. So he's just having match after match after match after match after match after match after match. And I'm just like, he's starting to become undeniable. As much as I don't care for the character, as much as I kind of sometimes hate the character, he's phenomenal in the ring. So, because of that, he makes it into the Hall of Fame category. Not same, actually, nothing like this, because I have only seen, honestly, kind of similar to something there. I have seen a lot of Roxanne Perez matches just because by the time I got into NXT, she was holding the belt and she was defending that thing left and right against everybody and whooping everybody's ass. And she was delivering in ring, she was delivering on the mic, she was delivering in backstage segments, pre-recorded segments. Her performance in the Royal Rumble was like, I mean, she broke a record, which I mean, obviously you could book that, but like, you still have to do the thing, and she did it with the best of them, and so much so where people were hoping for her to win over Charlotte Flair, which is like, what are we talking about here? And honestly, it's still a travesty that she is still kind of floating in NXT as opposed to being elevated to the, you know, Smackdown, Raw, big card title picture, because she should definitely be in there, you know, fighting for one of those belts. But yeah, Hall of Fame for Roxanne Perez, either way you put it, I don't think they're bumbling this whole situation. Like, I think the prodigy is WWE bred and born, and she is going to be there. Probably she's going to be a WWE lifer. She might shatter the Italian's record for how long a woman has been signed with the WWE. And moving on to one of the most popular stars, probably the most popular star in WWE right now. Am I out of line for saying that? It's Rhea Ripley. Another one of those people where I feel like I see her picture in places online where there are no, well, I ain't gonna say there are no wrestling fans, because clearly somebody's putting her picture there. But I often see people in the comments like, who is this person? Like, oh, she's a wrestler? Oh, okay, but goddamn, who is this person? I just want to know more about it. And I mean, you see Star when you look at her. In the ring, she delivers. I don't think if I've seen a bad Rhea Ripley match, it's been overshadowed by all of the great matches, honestly. Couple promo. I don't really care for Mommy's always on top and all of that, but like, she's undeniable. Same goes for Randy Orton. I'm not a Randy Orton fan at all. I don't care for Randy Orton matches. Literally, I probably start scrolling every time I hear voices in my head. The voices start telling me to scroll. But some things are undeniable. And Randy Orton is a certified Hall of Famer. I mean, was it 14-time world champion? Come on now. Quit playing with him. R-Truth, one of the longest tenured men on the roster, and by far the most entertaining. I don't care what nobody says. I love R-Truth. Although I don't think anybody's going to say that they don't love R-Truth. And if you don't, something is wrong with you internally. Okay, that's how I feel about that. I'm sorry. Yeah. R-Truth, Hall of Fame. Ooh, now this is the one that people might want to start fighting me over, especially because I have her like over Randy or over Satan and over Real Ricky. Nia motherfucking Jax is that girl, okay? She is. She is. She is. Like, even if she's not the best in ring, I don't. She still manages to like. How can I put this? Because I don't know. I just can't find it in my heart to hate Nia Jax. I cannot. I can't. Ever since I saw that interview where she actually said that she enjoys being a heel more than anything in the world and she has fun doing it, I see it. It's so clear as day. I'm like, yes, you do, and you are amazing at it. Like, she did the little moments with the subtle moments where you just see her like talking, just chirping back at the crowd, and like when sometimes her barbs back at other wrestlers when she's on the mic is so funny and it's effortless. It seems like, and the real criticism I have for Nia Jax really isn't her fault. It's more so with booking and the way that they refer to her as like the monster of the women's division. But she doesn't really get booked like the monster. Like she certainly gets like booked as somebody who's dominant because she's bigger than most people. Um, like which is like that's not even something she can really control like that. She just is. Um, but I feel like she's not. She was never really booked as like truly dominant, and even when she held the championships, it was really a weak run. Like she got pinned so many times as a champion that it's like how is she still somehow winning the actual championship matches? Um, Anywho's either way you put it though, Nia Jax is a Hall of Famer in my eyes. Um, Hell, even if you want to say because of nepotism, she won't get there. Nia Jax is that girl. Okay. There's only one thing, and it is. The Miz, Hall of Famer, I think, come on, I believe, two-time Grand Slam champion. What's the name of that man name? Liv Morgan had an amazing year, and I believe she is one of the most reliable workers in the entire women's main event scene. There's very few people who are going to have a bad match if they are going up against Liv Morgan. Um, I did want to see Nia Jackson win that crown jewel match, but that doesn't really matter here. It Liv Morgan, Hall of Famer. Also, the character work is fun. I hate her laugh though. I'm not really a fan of. I really, it's so annoying. But she's not. She's amazing, especially in the ring. Um, let's just do the New Day as a nice little 1-2. I will say I've been a fan. Obviously, been a fan of Kofi Kingston longer because he's been in the WWE since I was a child. Also, another wrestler I did get to see live when I was a kid. One of the first wrestling shows I ever went to, or WWE. Yeah, wrestling and WWE shows that I ever went to. Is when Smackdown came down to Cincinnati. They were in the US Bank Arena. It was still called the US Bank Arena at that time. Um, and I can that's one of the moments I remember from that night was when Kofi Kingston made his entrance, and I think Davis back when he was still Jamaican. And he was doing the boom, boom, boom. Definitely had me up out of my seat to do that. And I mean, the recent heel turn was amazing. It was fun to watch, even though everything after has been just lackluster, nothing, non-existent. What have we doing here? But him and Xavier Woods. I mean, the New Day is probably one of the most. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know the word that like the word that I'm looking for is like just running away and escaping. The most is it the most decorated tag team in the most decorated, highly decorated? Let's just say accomplished, the most accomplished tag team in the division. So moving on to Kevin Owens, who is probably one of the modern day goats in my opinion. Like never seen a bad Kevin Owens match. I like even like he sells the way he sells is just everything. Like another one of the like guys where I watch him and I'm like, no, he's not doing swantons. No, he does do swantons. He's hitting those top rope, he's hitting that top rope like nothing, and he's flying like it's nothing. Like, and his like, there's just something about a Kevin Owens match, especially when he's got a nice stipulation to it. It always hits. It always hits. And his He is so funny. He's so funny. On commentary, I love him on commentary. There's also this one clip that went around where he like Randy Orton was doing his, his pose, and Kevin Owens, I used to see Kevin Owens behind him go up in the corner and mock Randy, and then he just like kind of turns around, and the way he like rolls off the ring and like kind of like runs away is so hilarious. There's another one where he's on commentary and somebody gets thrown out the ring towards like him, and he just like gets up and like tippy toe runs across the barricade. Kevin Owens hilarious, and then the car promo with Michael Cole, one of the best promos all year. Yeah, Kevin Owens Hall of Fame. Finn Balor Hall of Fame, first ever U.S. Championship champion. Like, come on, man. And in ring, also amazing. You wouldn't know about his win-loss record though. They call the man Finn Balor. That is just, I would cry if I was him. But he's built for a time, and also makes a lot more money. Dirty Dominic Mysterio winning me over slowly. I wanted to hate him so bad when I got back into wrestling, especially because he was a heel, one of the worst kind of heels. There's the whole ex-con Dom angle. I hated it so much, and I'm starting to hate myself for becoming a Dirty Dom fan. Like so much so that I want him to win the Intercontinental. Why do I say that word so weird? The Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. After that, Cody Rhodes, a guy that I cannot wait to see lose his title at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. I'm a Cody Rhodes hater. I am. I'm honest about it. I am. He's really good in the ring, though. Undeniable in the ring, though. Hall of Fame worthy in the ring, and I cannot take that away from him. Hall of Fame worthy on the mic, too. Like, I've seen very few bad Cody Rhodes promos. Like, he delivers almost every single time he's on screen. So, I'm a hater for the fun of it, but like legitimately, like I can't hate at all. Like he's amazing. Just not my favorite. But I do love Io Sky. Oh my god, this woman is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I don't watch all the wrestling on the planet. I haven't seen probably even half the wrestlers on the planet, but I am standing on it. Io Sky is one of the best. Okay, like. I don't think I've seen a bad Io Sky match. I don't think I've not been entertained by an Io Sky match. She don't speak English, and I don't even care when she's speaking on her promos. I am invested. I want to know everything that woman is saying. And, I mean, unfortunately, she is going against my favorite at WrestleMania, so I don't care. I hope she doesn't win at WrestleMania, but, like, if she also retains, like, I can't be that mad because somebody who works so well in the ring, somebody who has went out and just proven herself time and time again. Somebody who has raised their stock really off of their in-ring ability alone. Like, you cannot deny Io Sky. Yeah. Naomi, somebody who has put she put her time and effort into this division. She's probably up there with Natalia, probably towards the longest tenured women. Even if she did, have her moment with Sasha Banks where they left the company and stuff. Every time I think about that, it upsets me just a little bit because I feel like they were trying to make those belts matter, and that was just like a huge setback. Like, it didn't have the impact that either of them really wanted, I think. But I'm glad she returned. I was so happy when her music hit, even though I didn't know at first what it was, but obviously they spelled out her name, so I was like, oh my god, like she's back. I just watched Total Divas and she was amazing. I loved her in that. So she's actually the reason why I went back and watched Total Divas because I heard that she was on there and I was like, okay, this is somebody I actually want to see more of, and I don't kind of care to see. I care to see more of their personal life. So, and I'm glad I did because I just got to learn how hard she grinded for this, how hard she's worked for this, and the fact that she survived. She's one of the ones that survived the Divas era, and like justifiably so. She's really, really great in the ring. That triple threat match at Backlash between her, Bayley, and Tiffany Stratton was like so perfect. I really want to see her win a big one here soon. And honestly, as much as like I know in my brain that Jade Cargill is about to win their singles match at WrestleMania, I would not be upset if Naomi won. Because in my heart, like that heel turn, everything since the heel turn has been so great that she is deserving of another big win at WrestleMania. Because I know she won a title, or she at least won a Battle Royale at WrestleMania. Love Naomi. Love her interests. AOM. Let's go. I'm sorry. On to the next one, Bailey. Same. She kind of is the same as Lyra Valkyria to me. Like she's so great in the ring. Like it is like as a just a technical wrestler. Like if I could be taught by somebody, it would be Seth Rollins. But next on the list would be Bailey because she's. I don't think like she's one of those wrestlers that she elevates the person that she is wrestling with. Kind of the same as Naomi. Like very few people are going to go into a match with Bailey and not be looked at as a better superstar after that. And you just got to give people like that their chance. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I watched her episode on like the Best of WWE on Peacock. All great matches. All great matches. Bailey's one of the best to ever do it. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Same goes for Asuka. No one is ready for Asuka. Two of the best interest things in WWE. Fight me if you want me to. I say if you want me to. Fight me if you want me to. Oh, it's clearly time to get done with this thing. But yeah, love Asuka in the ring. Love her out the ring. I love all the presentation. I am here for the crazy face paint and scary character and all of that. And it sucks that she's been injured for so long. I've been missing her from my screen. I've been missing that entrance. Her program with Bianca Belair when she won the Elimination Chamber, and her WrestleMania match, everything after, in her role as far as Bianca actually losing the title. Like, I didn't even hate Asuka after that. Like, I was just like, this is perfect storytelling to me because it was like, of course, she overcame Asuka at WrestleMania, but of course, Asuka kept coming back. And it's like, eventually, she got her. And there was nothing she could do about it. And it just kind of goes back to the same. No one is ready for Asuka. I am so ready for her to come back. AJ Styles, don't really care for AJ Styles, however, every time he has a match afterwards, I'm like, why do I not care for AJ Styles? I hate his hair, but that's not why I don't care for him. Why? He has a decent interest in him. They don't want none. They don't want none. They don't want none. Like, it's a little bop. But I'll live for him, however, come. When people tell you that AJ Styles is one of the best to ever do it, you just gotta concede to it and be like, I see no evidence. I see no evidence that is contrary to the belief. So, next up, John Cena, Mr. You Can Wrestle himself. I don't really like John Cena anymore. Growing up as a kid, he was one of my favorites. I lived for John Cena, but not enough to make me stay a wrestling fan. So, yeah. But again, same as AJ Styles. Like, I'm not nothing like AJ Styles though, because he literally held the company on his back for like a decade more, and it's easily one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time. Like, I think he cracks that top 10, maybe even cracks that top 5. So, yeah, John Cena's that dude, Hall of Famer. Next up, Sheamus, somebody who I am desperately waiting to see finally get that Grand Slam champion accolade by winning the IC title. I really thought he would be on this year's WrestleMania card going after that IC title, but it looks like they're saving that for when he actually is on his way out the door to complete that story of him becoming Grand Slam champion. And I mean, I'm not mad about that. Although I believe they say he just signed a 3 or 4 year deal not too long ago, like last year. So I mean, he still got some time on that contract. And I mean, Sheamus is just good. Like, I mean, the saying isn't banger after banger after banger after banger for nothing. Like, the matches are always amazing. And I mean, character wise, I love him too. Like in the Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble, when Joe Hendry was it in the Royal Rumble? Yeah, I think Joe Hendry was in the Royal Rumble, and he was in there like, doing his thing, and I think he was in there like singing and stuff. And you just see Sheamus in the background with his grin on his face, just enjoying it the whole time, and then he gets eliminated. And I forgot who eliminated him, but he just walks up to him and goes, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I was enjoying that." And it's like, clearly you were. And I enjoy him for it. So yeah, love Sheamus. I keep slapping on it. Next up, CM Punk. Bulk of his career, I wasn't really paying no attention to him. Honestly, I think he was a part of like in the games. When I used to play the games a lot, he was one of the people I used to fight a lot. But really only seen him since he's came back to the WWE at last year's Survivor Series, and I mean everything he's done has been 100% A+. Nothing bad I can say. Not a single bad promo. I think even the matches that weren't the best, the storytelling were. The storytelling was. So, I can't find it in my heart to say, or in my brain to say anything bad about CM Punk. Some people are just, he says the best in the world, but I wouldn't say that. But still Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Drew McIntyre, Hall of Famer. He just gets it. Drew McIntyre just gets wrestling entertainment. He just knows how to be an entertaining wrestler. And then on top of that, he's a great wrestler too. When you see somebody his size, you're like, okay, he's a powerhouse guy, right? It's just picking guys up, slamming them, and not see anybody ever lifted and tossed like that. The way he just he just moves the agility. The way he just moves in the ring. The moves are so crisp. That kip up he does every time. I'm like, you're too big to be doing that, sir. You're supposed to fail every time. But no, he doesn't. And again, the antics is funny. The nuances, the little stuff at WrestleMania 40 with him, going out to tweet on somebody's phone while he's beating the hell out of Seth Rollins. And, his whole story with CM Punk, everything has been just fantastic. Just fantastic. Even his online presence, the way he knows how to be the heel character Drew McIntyre online as well is out of this world. Drew McIntyre he's a Hall of Famer. Next up, one of the most controversial women in wrestling. Can you say that? I feel like there might be more, but Charlotte motherfucking Flair. It is very. Damn you, Santi's app for making me that taxes and Charlotte Flair winning the championship every time she comes back from injury. I say it literally every time I want to, or at least want to say it every time I say the name Charlotte Flair. But when I tell y'all that there's just the way this woman won me over by just being so damn good at what she does. I feel like that's just how it should be. If somebody just goes out, they just come out, the presentation is a 10. They get in the ring and the in-ring work is a 10. The storytelling in the ring is a 10. What? And then if you want to go with the criticisms about, she's a Nepo baby and she wouldn't have anything she'd have if it wasn't for Ric Flair being her dad, it's there are so many people who have been signed to the WWE off of the name of a legend who just did not have it in the ring, who didn't have it on the mic, who did not have it in any way, shape, or form. And because of that, because of the fact that Charlotte Flair does, she is who she is, and she is a Hall of Famer. Charlotte Flair is that girl. Charlotte Flair is winning that title at WrestleMania. She will. She gonna lose it eventually to Tiffany. And probably even lose another title match against her again. But that's okay. Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers in the world to me. He can go with a cruiserweight. He can go with a giant. He can go with just a regular sized guy, a technical wrestler, a powerhouse, a high flyer. It does not matter. Chad Gable can elevate anybody that you put in the ring with him. He can put on a 5-star classic with anybody. At least I believe that he has that ability in him. I feel like sometimes he be holding back because he like, I don't want to show up the main eventers and stuff. I don't want to make nobody look too pissed that they can't do what I can do. And in all honesty, I'm definitely not the only person with this sentiment. It should have been him at WrestleMania 40 going up against Gunther to take that IC title. I will stand on that to the day that I die. Chad Gable is everything. And just mentioned Gunther, another one. Gunther is one of the people when I first started watching that Royal Rumble. He was one of the last two people going at it with Cody Rhodes. When I realized he was one of the last two people going at it with Cody Rhodes, I knew Cody Rhodes was going to win. However, afterwards, I continued to see him defend that IC belt, and I was like, God damn, that man is amazing. Like, he can't stick to a finisher for the life of him. But I cannot say anything negative about Gunther. Even when he was having his quote-unquote shy Gunther phase where he was, like, not believing in himself or whatever, or not his confident ring general, it's still hit for me. Like, he was still delivering in the ring for me. And that man is a Hall of Famer, no doubt. I mean, he already has the longest intercontinental, I say the word so weird, intercontinental title reign ever. Paul Heyman, not going to spend so much time. He's not actually a wrestler, but he's great at what he does as a manager and just a figurehead in WWE. It's amazing. Like, I love just hearing that man's voice. And I mean, the acting that Lindsay went during the whole storyline with the bloodline turning on him was Bloodline 2.0, I should say. Turning on him. Amazing. Rey Mysterio, one of my favorite wrestlers ever, a legit Hall of Famer at this moment. He's already been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he is literally just hanging around for fun at this point. 50 plus years, still having amazing, amazing matches. Like, how can you not love Rey Mysterio? Not gonna lie, I wish he still came out of the floor. That was one of my favorite things as a kid. I used to always love using it as my wrestler's interest when I created one of the games. And I'm still honestly upset that that's not an option to this day. Like, that is, how is that not one of the most iconic interests ever? Like, Rey Mysterio still literally fly out of the fucking floor. Roman Reigns. Do I really have to talk about Roman Reigns? Do I have to talk about Roman? Like, I wasn't even watching during the Shield stuff, and I know all about what happened during the Shield stuff. Do I have to talk about Roman Reigns for real? He's all of it. Jake, I'm sorry, I got a little. I'm a little parched. Sorry, my cheeks. In case you haven't noticed by now, although I've only did it a couple times now, literally after the whole time, I don't like thirsting over straight dudes. So instead of actually saying what I want to say when I'm talking about, I just take the drink. But I'm feeling a little thirsty, okay? Feeling a little parched. And Jey Uso always makes me feel a little parched when I see him on the screen. So no, I just like, he's also just very entertaining. One of those people who's also always seem like he's having fun in the ring. At least when he's not doing like the whole emotional storyline or something serious. Excuse me. But yeah, I absolutely love Jey Uso. Like I said, when I started watching, it was during the Sami Zayn leaving the bloodline, and then obviously right after that, it was Jey Uso turning on the bloodline and stuff like that. He had a really great SummerSlam match with Roman Reigns, one that I don't know why I thought he was going to actually win it. And everything after that, the entire main event Jey Uso run, I've been living for, only because I'm one of those people where I just believe, obviously, if somebody is that popular to where they're having those type of crowd reactions, there's no way they're actually going to keep continuously losing every single big match. Like, eventually, they're going to get the big win. And when he won the Royal fucking Rumble this year, I was literally at work, right? I was watching the match. I was watching at work. We was kind of slow, so I was just sitting there watching the match. I'm like, okay, this is happening. It's Daniel John Cena. I'm like, John Cena about to overcome. And then he pushed him. Y'all, I screamed. Like, both of my bosses was looking over at me like, bro, what is going on right now? I'm like, y'all, I'm sorry. It's Royal Rumble. Wrestling is my thing. Da, 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 da. I feel so bad that they have not really had the best story for him. But at the same time, like, he's still one of the most popular superstars in WWE. And he's definitely winning that belt at WrestleMania. He's going to have a at the end of the day, like him just winning the belt is enough. Like it's enough. Even if y'all don't have the best story set for him after, it's fine. He won the big one. He is now main event Jey Uso forever. My eyes. So I just had a drink, but for some reason, oh, that's all of it. Ooh. I guess I will just have to get through this last three with a parched mouth because next is Seth. Seth. Oh, did I do it wrong? Whoa, I think I did it wrong. Whoa, hold on. How far is now? Whoa. I got it. I gotta do the whole entrance in order to get to the. But Seth freaking Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster. Full stop. My brother asked me one day, he said, if you could have a wrestling match with any wrestler in the world or ever, who would you want it to be? I gave him my favorite wrestler of all time. I said The Rock, but honestly, if I had to go with who was going to give me the best match, like who would I rely on to give me a 5-star classic, it is Seth freaking Rollins. Same as with Chad Gable. It doesn't matter who you put him in the ring with. It don't matter how big, how little they are. It doesn't matter what kind of wrestler they are. Seth Rollins knows how to work with them. He knows how to sell for them. He knows how to make them look like $1,000,000. And also, he is going to look like $1,000,000 while he does it. In the ring and his attire. Seth Rollins be fly as hell. Literally, all of his ridiculous outfits, he wears with so much confidence, okay? So much swagger. I'm talking oozing with swagger, dripping, leaving a trail of swagger in his wake, okay? Like, like he never looked like it don't matter what he wore the red Michigan boots and pulled them off, made them look fly. Okay, Seth Rollins is everything. 10s in all categories for Seth Rollins. Even when he does have a promo that doesn't really hit, Diarrhea Dwayne was good, but it don't matter. Seth Rollins is a Hall of Famer, bar none. I will fight anybody over Seth Rollins. Okay, another person I will go to war for. Okay. Okay, I will pull these things back and wrap it up in a minute, okay? The reason why I decided to get back into wrestling at all is because I kept on my storyline seeing this gorgeous ass, fine ass woman just dressed to the nines. Dressed to the nines, okay? Makeup, beats, okay? Makeup and beats. Hair did fly, hair did so iconic with the long braid. I said, who is this with the long braid? And also, she was holding the title. She had that Raw Women's title, and it just looked like it belonged on her shoulder. Okay, belonged on her waist. Okay, I am talking about the EST, the roughest, the toughest, the quickest, the fastest, the smartest, the EST of WWE. Okay, I forgot the best. But Bianca Belair is just everything to me. Like she is so good in the ring. She is so entertaining, especially when they give her a good quality storyline and just eat it up. Okay, the clips of it was I believe COVID era, Thunderdome era, with her and Bailey, they were doing like this little obstacle course thing around the ring, and she like. Bailey did it and she carried Chad Gable, and then when Bianca Belair did it, they swept it out their hat. Otis, and she did it. Like, She's just so freaking strong. Like I just watch her. I love watching her doing any power lifting spot. I'm just like, yes, give it to me. Her match with Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37. Magnifique. Obviously, I was not a fan at the time, but I did go back and watch it because they was like, "Oh, Bianca Belair made it into WrestleMania." I was like, "What? I gotta go watch this match." And I'm glad I did. Like I said, everything, and I mean the fact that she did. She also like not only designs, but she literally sews her own gear. Like this woman's just so talented. I love everything about Bianca Belair. She's a Hall of Famer for sure. And then the last but not least, rounding out the Hall of Famer tier is, of course, the Wayne The Rock Johnson, my first favorite wrestler, my favorite wrestler of all time, my favorite actor of all time. Like, not even just because, not even because I think he's the best or anything like that. It's just I've never not enjoyed anything that The Rock has been a part of. When I was a kid, he disappeared from wrestling, and then all of a sudden I came downstairs one day and he was on the case for a movie. I was like, I'm watching this. And then a couple months went by, he was on the case for another movie that just so happened to be down there, and I was like, I'm watching this. Like, my dad was just as much as a Rock fan as I am, I think, at least. And every time he came out with a new movie, it ended up in our house, and I was watching it. I have probably can count on, like, this one hand the things that The Rock has done that I have not witnessed. I absolutely love The Rock. The Rock is the reason why I got into wrestling a second time when I was a teenager. There was a storyline with him and John Cena going to fight. And I was like, what? I was a fan of John Cena. The Rock is my favorite ever. They fighting. I'm in. And I think I stopped watching immediately after. I want to say The Rock lost. I could be remember this wrong, but I think The Rock actually lost their match. And I was like, yep, nope, can't do it. But yeah, Rock, my favorite to ever do it. I can't say more. Like if I try to talk more about how much I love The Rock, I would probably shed a tear. So for that for that reason, we're gonna go ahead and cut this thing to an end. Definitely clocked it in at just over 2 hours, which I'm glad it's not as long as the original video was when I actually was ranking all of everybody here. So I'm just gonna take a quick second and scroll through the list a little bit. And okay, yeah, I absolutely zoomed out. That's what I do doing things. Just kind of get find the views where everybody kind of sat. Actually, I could just edit the whole image and see I can see the whole thing. Where I could just zoom out like that and my face. Yeah, and get a full look at the actual whole tier list here, where I can see how I have everybody ranked. Obviously, feel free to hit up the comment section, go and just kind of let me know where you would have certain wrestlers. Obviously, there's this whole list, a whole big old list. So feel free to kind of just tell me like your top 10 favorite wrestlers, top 5, maybe the 10 at the bottom you like the least. Maybe even just let me know like where, like how I have people in like their ceilings, what you see them in, like your favorite wrestlers. Like even if maybe you don't see them as like Hall of Fame World Champion worthy, where do you see their ceiling in WWE? And obviously, this is an opinion-based video, so that means people might have opinions about my opinions. I don't care. It is what it is. My comment section is always a safe space. Okay. So that being said, I think that'll be the end of this here video. And if you want to see me talk more wrestling, just make sure y'all click that thumbs up. Yeah, do that. Do that. Click that thumbs up. Also, in the comments, comments exactly what y'all want to talk about. As far as wrestling goes, definitely probably won't do a weekly thing just because I barely keep up with all 3 shows. This definitely could be something I can see myself doing after like every PLE cycle. I can go and talk about my excitement for the matches and my excitement